love it. Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. Today we're going to be working on this pair of Baja Warriors. They've been sitting for years, so the carburetors have gummed up both of them. I bought them, and as you can see, particularly with this one, right, somebody updated it with the Kawasaki. I think you can even kind of read it if I get the right angle with the sun there. That Kawasaki gas tank, this one's more or less intact as an original. You can even see Baja Warrior on it and the glove box and the whole bit. Believe it or not, this one that's been jacked on is easier to work on because take these two bolts off, right? 1, 2, right? Move these slides to the right position. Air filters off. Pop the hose. Slide it out a little bit, remove those connections there, and the carburetor's out. That's typically what goes bad on these. If you give this one a sniff, you realize that the hose probably dried out and it spilled its gas out. I doubt it was run out back then. The other one's gonna require a little bit more love and attention. So let's start out here and go forward. I got my junior assistant here. What do you say, buddy? Huh? How's the Hux? You ignoring me? No, there you go. So he's an official English setter, Llewellyn hunting dog, and he's actually very good at it. If you take out the tools of hunting, he's not afraid of the noise. You can see I had to slit the hose and how rusty it is, so it really needs a new hose and fuel filter. Now, when it comes to looking at this, right, I think you guys could see there's a little slash here. You just kind of line it up and lift this up, right? Better to do it with two hands than one, and you pop that guy off. And you can look back at these photos to see where things go. I'm not going to rebuild this carburetor. These carburetors are cheap. They're like 15 bucks each. And normally they don't behave very well after a rebuild. So I'm just going to swap the carburetor out. Now for a couple of tricks just to make your life a little easier. Here's the old carburetor. You can see the rust. You see this gasket here. It's nice to just leave it here, and you could duplicate putting this one on. So that's one trick. Another trick, the choke, right, has a tendency to be a little stiff, right? And if you put a little WD-40 on it, right, it loosens it up. So remember, it's only plastic. If you're really trying to move it too much, there's only a plastic pin that slides in there, right? And it tends to break off. So there's that. And also this valve moves a little easier if you just hit it with a little WD-40. And as a matter of fact, if before you put the hoses on, you put a little oil there of any kind, it doesn't have to be that, they go on easier. So a few little tricks. And one last thing, if you oil the gasket before you put it on, you might be able to get a second use out of it. So I'm even doing it wrong. It's going to take me a minute to line myself up. So you want to look just like that. So you want to, oh, I'm upside down. Excuse me. This is the tail end. Anyway, trust me, look at these before you get started. That way you get all the gaskets in the right place. You can see we got that on, the throttle, the return spring, that there's no gasket between here and there except the plastic piece that comes with it. So that's all good. All you have to do is put the choke on so that it, you know, moves this properly. gasket, air filter, and we're done. Right, slide that right into the end of the air cleaner, and life should be good. This thing should be ready to take a little gas, start up, and get out for a ride. You guys can see the choke lever's on. Make sure that little pin right there goes right in that groove, and life is good. Once again, little lubrication, light oil, WD-40 perhaps, makes all that stuff move better. Okay, one final trick with these choke levers. Some of these are taller than others, and if they're too short, like the one that came with the kit, it'll allow this to pop off, and then this little guy isn't in the groove anymore, and you can't turn your choke on and off. So as you're putting it together, just pay attention to the parts. Not everything is a universal fit, like to the air cleaner box and so forth. So once again, by paying a little bit of attention, everything will be fine and everything will work properly. So moving on to Baja Warrior number 2. Kind of a cool insignia there. This guy has gas in the tank. It doesn't smell too horrible. And the reason why I mention this is it's like, how far do we want to go? Do we just kind of... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the fuel off and drop the bowl on the carburetor and see how bad it looks before I tear this whole thing apart. So kind of a shortcut. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, you got stinky gas all over your hands. So I dropped the bowl, not difficult, 10 millimeters, one bolt on the bottom, and it really doesn't look bad. I don't see any water in there. It's not the greatest gas. Tiny little bit of debris. I think what I'm going to do is, given that there's still gas in this thing, I'm just going to clean that little bit out of there, put it back up, turn the gas on, give it a hoot of starting fluid, and hope for the best. Once again, it is a shortcut, I admit it, but if it works, it saves a little time. If not, once again, I'm going to have to drop the carb, and I do have another spare, so I'm probably just going to replace it. I turned the gas on. I'm not getting any leakage. I got the choke on. I got it turned on, I think. I don't know. Will she start? These things kind of have to start at idle. If they start at full throttle, they have a centrifugal clutch, and you go for the ride of your life. So let's see. By the way, once again, cold start, right? Nothing hot here. Right as I jam my hand everywhere. It was sitting in the sun, so this isn't like a winter cold start. I love it. I don't have my GoPro with me, so excuse the bad driving. I gotta put my other pickup. I also have the choke on. So we're just gonna take this for an easy ride. I gotta get gas for the other one. I don't have any gas floating around, so well, we'll probably just take this out for a little ride. You know, if I put this in a chuck hole, you guys are going to get to see camera go over hill and down. You guys are probably nauseous by this point. So, I think I'm just going to shut this down. I hope you guys enjoyed this little ride. I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember to keep your feet down, your heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.